It's a book review. Today I want to cover a book that actually hopefully doesn't make me cry. It is a book that I can never, ever, ever read without crying at the end, and it is probably my all-time favorite book, and that's saying something. A little story and background on how I found this book. I was taking a children's lit class. That class required me to read about 10 to 15 books a week. By the end of the course, I was getting a little bit tired. I was losing my motivation. So I went to my daughter, and my daughter is a voracious reader, and she suggested I pick up a book by William Joyce. She is a huge fan of William Joyce, and if you don't know who William Joyce is, maybe a few of these things will ring your bells. There's a series of books that he wrote called The Guardians of Childhood, and there was a movie based on these books called The Rise of the Guardians.
Oh, I see how it is. All working together to make sure the rabbit gets last place. You think I need help to beat a bunny? Check it out, Peter Cottontail. You call that a bag of choppers? Now that's a bag of choppers.
There's another book that he wrote called A Day with Wilbur Robinson. There was another movie made by Disney about that book. I think you guys might know it.
Laszlo, you stop beating my head around telling Ma. I'll lighten up, sis. Yes, I mean it.
Children, please. Your mother is trying to take a nap. What is all the yelling out here?
She started it.
I don't want to hear anymore. Now, sweetie. Don't you, sweetie, me. I'm going for a drive.
Meet the Robinsons. I happened to pick up another book by William Joyce that I absolutely love, Billy's Booger, a memoir. Funniest dang book. William Joyce is not an unknown. He is well known in the children's literature genre. I decided I would go ahead and risk it and pick up this book that my daughter was recommending. The Fantastic Flying Books of Mr. Morris Lessmore. He worked on it from 1999 all the way to 2012, and he was interrupted by Hurricane Katrina. So he first was planning on writing this book about a man that is a librarian crusader named Bill Morris, and then he ended up going through Hurricane Katrina, and Hurricane Katrina of course was devastating. We all know what happened there. William Joyce mentioned the curative power of books was evident when they were going through the recovery and the restoration after Hurricane Katrina, and he saw how powerful books can be. The reason this book speaks to me is because I believe firmly that every single person out there has a story to tell, and that my human experience is greatly enriched by each one of those stories. When I edit books, I have the opportunity to be part of those people's lives. I edit for many different people, many from different religious backgrounds, different perspectives, different childhoods, different religious beliefs, different political ideas, different opinions, and not all of those opinions do I agree with, but I do love and appreciate each and every single one of my authors, because I understand that they have a perspective that's different from mine, and I can appreciate the fact that I probably wouldn't have that empathy or that experience or that perspective had they failed to share it with me. And I believe when I read Mr. Morris Lessmore that I get to feel in a very beautifully told story how impactful books can be on a person's life. This story is about a man who goes through a little bit of a tragedy. His town is pretty much taken away from him, and he kind of loses his way and loses his story. And as he's trying to figure out where he's at and what he's doing, he meets somebody who shares her story, and that book brings him back to life. And then he turns around and shares other stories with other people and brings them to life. And I believe that when people read books, they are learning empathy that can help them understand and have a much richer, fuller, beautiful human experience. I love this book. I love all of William Joyce's stories. He's a master storyteller, and I am so happy that this book came into my life. It is truly a treasure. I keep this book right here by my desk. I refer to it often when I need a pick-me-up, and this book actually helps me stay motivated to be a good editor and to do my best to help other people tell their stories, because I understand how important it is to tell our stories, to share our lives with others so that we can actually help others grow and learn and be better humans. If you don't want to read the book yet, but you kind of have 15 minutes to spare, William Joyce helped make his book into an animated short that actually won an Academy Award, and it is easily available. You can view it on YouTube. I'll put the link to it down here in the description so you guys can see it. I truly do love this book. Let me know if there's any books that you would like me to review. I'll be reviewing another book for next month's episode. If you have any questions or concerns, or you'd like me to review your manuscript, you can find me at editsbystacy.com, or you can find me on Facebook as well at Love Your Editor. Subscribe to Read Write Random. I have many different segments where I cover different subjects, and I hope you guys have a great week. Talk to you later.